Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to completely disassemble your bolt carrier assembly as well as the bolt itself. Now for most of this we're not actually going to need any tools, but to remove the ejector from the bolt we are going to need some tools to make it easier. Tools I have available right now are a small hammer, a bolt disassembly tool, and then I have a 1/16 inch punch as well as a 1/16 inch roll pin holder. So we'll set these aside for just a second. To start out, once you have the bolt carrier removed from your rifle, first thing you're going to have to do is remove the cotter pin. Cotter pin's right here. You might be able to get it with your finger, depends on the rifle. If it's a little too tight to pull out with just your finger, you can go ahead and use a small punch, small screwdriver, something like that. Pull it out, set it aside. Next you need to take the firing pin out. To do that, easiest way is just to take your bolt carrier assembly upright, tap it on whatever surface you're working on. Firing pin falls out, nice and easy. Next, you're going to take this and you're going to rotate it 90 degrees so that it's horizontal and you have room to pull it out past the carrier key. With that out, your bolt's going to slide right out. Now with these parts disassembled, that's as far as many people take it for cleaning. You can use your rag to clean around the bolt carrier, get everything lubed before reassembly. If you have a tool for it, you can clean the inside of the bolt carrier. Now ideally, this came out of a Colt, so the key here is staked. That's something you don't want to take off in normal cleaning. Now with your bolt, in order to take off the extractor, which is this one that you can see on the side here, that's actually pretty easy to take off. I take that off almost every time I disassemble the carrier assembly for cleaning. The way I usually do it is I take the cotter pin, put a little bit of pressure on it with my thumb, push out the pin using the cotter pin. Set all the parts aside. Here's your extractor. Now if you want to get an upgraded spring, that's an easy replacement once you have this apart. Make sure you get any of the junk cleaned out of the groove so that it can get a good strong grip on your brass. Now you can use a toothbrush, rag, pipe cleaner, anything like that to clean out the inside of the bolt. And again, this is how far I disassemble it almost every time I clean. Next I'm going to show you how to remove the ejector. That's a little more difficult. I only do that every so often. One thing to do to check the strength of your ejector is try to push it in with your thumb. With one that's a little better shaped like this, I can get it pushed in. This one has had a little bit of use. It's not brand new, but it's also not too weak. A newer one you may barely be able to depress with your thumbnail at all. One that's well worn, you may be able to fairly easily push it all the way to the bolt face. If you've gotten to that extent where you can actually push it all the way to the bolt face easily, it's probably time to replace your spring. Alright, so here we have the tool used. If you can see in there, there's a little hole that goes through. You're going to want your roll pin to line up with that hole. So, got my roll pins on this side, holes on this side. So we're going to get that lined up. And then what this tool does is it basically just depresses the ejector so that there's no chance of it shooting off once you've removed it. Next I'm going to take my 1/16 inch punch and gently tap it out. It's all the way through. Now, this shouldn't take too much effort. You want to be careful that you're not forcing it out. Don't want to damage or bend something. With the holes lined up properly, you know, it should take just a few taps, come out without too much difficulty. Now, slowly back this out. As you can see, the ejector's not pinned in anymore, so it's sticking out further than normal, but it also didn't shoot across the room. So we'll just pull that out. Sometimes if it's dirty, that spring may not come out right away. You can give it a little tap. That'll usually knock it loose. So there's your ejector spring and your ejector.